Good evening, my name is Robert and I try things on this is not Thursday. On Sundays, I try whatever the heck I feel like. Tonight I feel like either The Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition, or over here on the other side of doors that you can't see is the Thief, Square Enix Thief from 2014. Both of which are free currently until Thursday. What day is that? My math is not mathing. Thursday, April 11th, 2024 until 10 a.m. Central. Okay, so these are both great games. A little bit aged, but they're great games, and I've not played them, and they're really entertaining. I got really into both of them. So we'll flip a coin and see which one we want to play. I'm leaning more toward The Outer Worlds, but Thief would be just fine. And again, they're free on the Epic Game Store until Thursday, April 11th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Central Time. And that is Central Daylight Time because we are in Daylight Saving Time, not Central Standard Time. And there is a difference between CDT and CST. A lot of people conflate them. They use them interchangeably. And because of the way English works and the way language works, that's people understand what you mean. But there is a difference in the meaning. CST is Standard Time. And DT is daylight time. Daylight is spring forward, standard is fall back. So we are in spring forward, we're in daylight time, so it is CDT. Rant for the day over. I almost finished my half of a Sonic double cheeseburger, but I have one bite left. So if you will mukbang with me for just a minute. There we go. Is that even how you pronounce that? Mukbang? Is it mukbang? Mukbang? I don't even know what language it's supposed to be. I understand it's like, okay, I'm gonna eat on stream or on this video, and theoretically you eat along with me. How do I pronounce mukbang? I'm gonna Google that. Mukbang.
Mukbang.
There it is. What language is it? It looks like it's probably Chinese. Maybe it's Korean. Oh, okay, so there's a voiceless M at the beginning. I'm not even going to get into the craziness of the correct Chinese pronunciation of it. Apparently it is a Chinese word. Or maybe it's Korean, because somebody Korean asked about it. I don't know. But I'm just going to continue calling it mukbang until someone, or mukbang. I'm going to call it mukbang until someone tells me better. The weather is finally warming up some. It's been above 70 the last couple of days. It's currently 68. Expected high above 70 for most of the week. And the only day it's not going to be is high of 66. And then potentially Saturday, high of 84. And it's showing gusty for next Saturday. It's been windy for the last several days. And it's because, the temperatures are warming up. Because that warmer, heavier, more, humid air is coming in, blowing in from the south, blowing away the colder northern air, and the northern air is, running off with the jet stream and whatnot, and the Coriolis effect and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, I am liking that it is getting warmer. I don't know what that was on this controller that's sitting up here. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone. So So what did I get up to yesterday? Not a lot. I played a lot of Stardew Valley, which I'm not going to put you through tonight. I played a lot of it over the last week or two. I just like 4 days ago, 4 in-game days, maybe 5, finished year 2. So if you have not played Stardew before, like I haven't, a little bit of a spoiler alert right here. It's sort of a spoiler, but it's also mentioned like as soon as you want to go to it on the game. So you inherited your farm from your grandfather, and if you go into the northwesternmost corner of the farm, there's a shrine to your grandfather's grave, I guess.
And his name is John Cena!
Good evening, Air at Night. Is it a spoiler or is it John Cena? It's both. That was really good timing. Anyway, your grandpa's shrine, grave, whatever, says, look for me on the first day of spring of your 3rd year. So you complete 2 years, and on the first day, overnight, he comes in and basically evaluates how you've done on your farm. And if you've done well, I don't even know what the criteria are, but if you've done well, you get more candles around his grave, and if you do poorly, you get fewer candles around his grave. Yeah, you get judged! You can't see me because I'm a spirit. Because I'm your grandpa's spirit that looks like blue Santa Claus. Like he's had the whole, sleeping cap with a pom-pom on the end and a beard, and he's all blue. Eric! I like doing that. What's up, Eric? Happy Sunday. We're probably going to be, not probably, we're definitely going to be flipping a coin between the Outer Worlds and Thief, which you can't see. It's just off screen here next to doors. I should install something. What would that be? Alphabetically before Thief? No? Yes? Yes. No. I don't know how this is arranged. Oh, by recently purchased. Okay, so I don't have anything newer than Thief. You can get re-evaluated at the shrine for 1 diamond if you think you're doing better. I got all 4 candles, so I'm good. He says, my spirit is at rest. I can feel it. You're doing well, better than I ever did. So you're good to go. I believe the number of candles is the rubric, right? Rubric is not the right word. Is the indicator. James, where'd you go? You went that way, and then you went that way, and then... There he is. He's over by the fireplace over there. But there's still a lot more to the game, apparently. There's a point scale. It's based on farm earnings, skill points, in-game achievements, friendships, community center upgrades, and some other stuff. Okay, so farm earnings, my total earnings has been somewhere over 1 million. I have maxed out all the skills. I've got more than half of the achievements. What is up?
Here for the food.
Rubinsky, you missed the food. I was finishing my Sonic double cheeseburger right at the beginning. I had 1 bite left. Friendships, I believe everybody has at least 1 heart, and I've got like 8 or 10 or 12 people who are maxed. And then I finished the community center, which unlocked the desert and unlocked the opportunity to repair the way over to Ginger Island? No, that's not what it's called. Is it? I don't know. To the island. And then the other stuff, I don't know. Ahoy! Rubinsky. Roberto is thirsty. Also, I kind of over toasted. So the Sonic burger is from yesterday. I had it in the fridge, so I put it in the toaster oven on the air roast cycle, whatever you want to call it. So it kind of over toasted the bun, so the top of my mouth is just a little bit raw from that, but still tasted good. Still really tasty. How's everybody's weekend going? What'd you guys get up to? I played a lot of Stardew Valley. I went to the liquor store. I did no work outside because I do that during the week. Posted a flat-ish D20 you made yesterday. Is that on Discord? Hold on a second. Get rid of my bookmarks bar. Go away, bookmarks bar. Whatever. Oh, that is a nice perspective. What do you mean flat-ish? Is it ish because it's like mixed media? Wait a minute. Is this... Are there triangle? Oh, okay, okay. So you like glued on triangles on a piece of, I guess, cardboard there. Hasta la pasta. Good night, Rubinsky. Sleep well. Okay, cool. And the 20 is sticking out further than everything else, it appears, from this perspective. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. Yeah, by the way, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, this is some of Eric's more recent stuff. This is... I don't even know what to call it, but it's a... Looks like kind of an elf with wings or a fallen angel or something. And then this knight that looks a lot like Eric. Can't lie. Can't lie. And then this also looks a lot like Eric. He looks like a monk or some kind of friar. Looks like he's blind in this eye, or maybe that's just how you decided to do the eye. I don't know. Yeah, and I like your watercolors. You're just cool, Eric. I just really like your stuff. I'm glad I'm following you. So, let's see. Yeah, that's about all I did yesterday. Is I went to the liquor store and I played Stardew. I feel like we ran some other errand. We got Paige kettle corn for the first time of the year. They finally, the guy finally got his tent set up at Menards. What else did we do? We went to Menards first, and then we went to Sonic to get food. Because I wanted the Oreo cheesecake scoop blast, okay? So I was a little bit not exactly misled. I just didn't quite understand what it was. So it's an Oreo blast with a scoop of Oreo cheesecake on top. And according to the description in the app, there's supposed to be, what do they call it? Cheesecake syrup in the blast. I couldn't so much taste that. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I just don't know if it was worth extra money to pay for that little scoop. It was like a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. The scoop of cheesecake on top. There are better things I can get for less money at Sonic. I really like the hot fudge sundae. It's just simple ice cream and hot fudge, and it's like $2, which is honestly still highway robbery, but it's like $2. And I like the way that hot fudge gets thicker as it cools down in contact with the ice cream, with the soft serve. Man, now I'm making myself want to run to Sonic again. You guys want to come with me to Sonic? It would be like, I don't know, a 25-minute round trip, including waiting on getting the food. Although I would eat the ice cream there. I don't like driving somewhere else to eat ice cream, like driving back here, because it's like a 10-15 minute trip back here and the ice cream is half melted. So just eat it there. Yeah, I'm not actually gonna go. Do I have a glass in this fridge? I do. Okay. Why did I close that? I want a Modelo. So yeah, we went to the liquor store. I got some bourbon, and I got a 12-pack of Modelo Negra. Where are you going, Eric? No, get your butt back here. Butt spot. Hold on. Let's see if butt spot does this. Butt spot, you gonna do anything? No? Okay, whatever. Whatevs. So tomorrow's trash day, so I have a reminder to take the trash out, but I hardly ever take the trash out on just garbage day, because max we have like the most I've ever put in a garbage can was some fireplace ashes, fire pit ashes that I just wanted out of the yard. And that made it too heavy, and I had to pull it into bags and whatever it was. But in a normal basis, the most we have in the actual garbage can is like, over the course of 2 weeks, is a bag of garbage from each week and a bag of cat litter, because that's about how long it takes for the litter champ to get full of cat scooping. So taking the garbage out every week, not really worth it. I just take it out when I take the recycles out every other week. In fact, if I could arrange to have that swapped, to have the recycles taken every week and garbage every other week, I would do that in a heartbeat, because half the time I'm trying to like shove and stuff and arrange and Tetris and squash recycles into the can because they only get picked up every other week. Listen to my old self complaining about that. I don't think that's an old person thing. I think that's a conscientious person thing. I probably said this a dozen times, but I read a statistic years ago, and I'd have to go look up the veracity of this, but I believe it, or it's somewhere around here. Something like 80% of American garbage is packaging. And this was not a statistic, but I bet I'd be willing to believe that 80% of that packaging is recyclable. Basically everything except the styrofoam is recyclable in, some form or fashion. Now, whether or not it's like single point recyclable you can put in your recycle can depends on, your local recycling facility. Eric, when I put get your butt back here, I was hoping Buttspot would replace butt with butt. It did not work. Ads in 10 seconds, by the way. Do you still have turbo? I bet you still have turbo. How much is that? Why am I grabbing? Just so I don't confuse myself. I don't need to keep those bottles. Because I can't put caps back on them with my own beer. You do have turbo. How much is it? It's probably something like $12 a month or something, or 13, 15 max. I do not. Stupid being broke. It is cheap though. Errant Knight does not have turbo, is what he's saying. Gotcha. It's about $10 or so. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I've looked it up before. Turbo overview and FAQ. Yes. Purchasing turbo. Okay. Turbo. No, that's where you manage it. Where do I get turbo? Turbo, there it is. $12 a month. So that's the price of, 3 or 4 stream subscriptions if you watch a lot of Twitch to not get ads, which is nice. And I don't know what other perks it gets you, but to not have to watch ads, that's kind of nice. However, I don't watch a fraction of enough Twitch for that to be worthwhile for me. In fact, I'm trying to get rid of, I've been saying this for like 6 months. I'm trying to get rid of my Spotify subscription because I basically only use it for stream music now. And, you can download the stream beats and just use it locally, which, what am I trying to say? Which is free. So, whatever. And then, I put on I hoisted the Jolly Roger, as far as getting all the regular music that I would listen to on Spotify. And now it's on my Plex, which I can access from anywhere. It's like my own personal Spotify plus Netflix. If you haven't heard of Plex, it's kind of like Kodi. Kodi and Plex are very similar. Right? Yeah. And I don't know why I chose Plex rather than Kodi. Oh, they don't serve the same use case here. Kodi, hold on. No, that's not going to be a good one. You've been dropping subs to things, which is good because you get hit with a surprise bill for your Norton. Wow. Why are you paying for Norton? There's no reason to be paying for any kind of antivirus software in the 21st century. After about 2015, number one, antivirus is built into your operating system. Number two, even the best, most expensive, most advanced antivirus can only ever play catch up to viruses that have been discovered and reported. And then they have to write their rules about them and then push them as updates out to you. So you're never going to get ahead of viruses. If you get onto one of the places or get one of the files or something like that, that has one of these newer viruses that have not been updated about, you're going to get it. And the best antivirus in the world is not going to protect you from that. And then number 3, just don't go to places where you're going to get viruses, and don't open emails from people that are suspicious. And if you're questioning at all whether an email or a message or a site or a post or a link or anything on the internet, if you're questioning whether it's legitimate at all, it's not. Like, if you wonder, should I trust this? No. Should I ask my buddy about this? No, just don't do it. Would Robert trust this? No, I wouldn't. I would not. Guarantee you. There's no need to pay for antivirus in 2024. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, it's built into Windows. It's built in, presumably, to Apple. However, not very many, what are they called? Viruses written for Apple anyway, because of the market share. Also because of the penetrability of Microsoft is much higher, but it's not the point. As long as you're smart and you don't do things with suspicious stuff, that's fine. Like, people aren't, using Kazaa and LimeWire. It's not 2003 anymore, where people are just downloading things that say they are Lincoln_Park_in_the_end.mp3, but it's actually a virus. Nobody's doing that anymore. And if you are, invest in Bitcoin, because you're like living in the past. James, that's the 3rd time you've been past me. Okay, he's going out to the catio. Okay, so then what is Kodi? So let's see. How to Geek. Jellyfin. Yeah, there are other options, but I've been using Plex. I'm not exactly sure why I picked Plex. It's been 5+ years since I did, and it works pretty great. There are a couple of things that are available to paid users that aren't available to free users, but it's still definitely usable. Hydrate or dehydrate with actual water, not beer. No, Plex with a P. Plex. Plex.tv. And it's also got connections to all the, free web-based streaming services like Freevee and whatever else they're called. I don't pay attention to them, but you can watch all of those through Plex in one place without having to, go to all the different apps for that. And if you've got a dedicated server computer like we do, it's right behind the screen. You can put all your media on there, your music, your movies, your shows, I believe pictures even, maybe not, I don't know. And you can stream that to any of your devices anywhere you've got internet, just like if you had Netflix. Now, it doesn't work without an internet connection, just like Netflix, but you can download to your device, just like Netflix. It's like your own personal Netflix. You just have to get your media and have the server for it to run on. And how you get the media is up to you. You can buy your media, have your copy of it. Just make sure it doesn't have DRM on it, and put it on the server. I have a few of those, a couple. Or, you can hoist the Jolly Roger. I like hoisting the Jolly Roger because screw corporations. Man, corporations. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. I'm going to get a little bit into it. If I were to run for office, my platform would be not exactly these words, but screw corporations. And the first thing I would push for if I got into any kind of office is I'm going to put a freeze on prices that are eligible for WIC, for food stamps. Anything that you can buy with food stamps, price is frozen until we can figure out some kind of structure, some kind of way for these prices not to keep going up and 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 up, and WIC benefits not going up. You're getting less for the same amount of money. That would be my platform. That would be the very first thing that I would do if I were to run for some kind of office. I had a sleepless night a few weeks ago thinking about this. But I'm not actually going to do that. The only reason I'm thinking about it, the only reason it's on my brain, is because the president has to be at least 35 years old, and I'm turning 35 in August. So legally, technically, I could be president. Could I be president this year? Like, say I were campaigning and I was on the ballot and people voted for me in November. That's after my birthday. And if I were to take office in January, that's obviously after my birthday. You'd vote for me. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'd vote for anybody besides everybody on the ballot. I don't care who it is that's trying to get on the ballot right now that we hear about or whatever. I'd vote for you. I'd vote for freaking Mr. Beast. He's probably not the best example, but, you know. I'm probably wildly unqualified, but yeah, I mean, at least one of them was vice president at one point. Now, the argument could be made the other one was president at one point. So, yeah. That wasn't my fault. I had nothing to do with that. Aaron Knight, what would your platform be? Or Eric, what would be your number one, your keystone issue? As far as the legal requirements for being president, you have to be a natural-born citizen and 35 years of age. That's it. Those are the only legal requirements laid out in the Constitution, as far as I'm aware. You know what? I think there's a requirement for having lived in the country for the last certain number of years. But I think that's it. And as far as being unqualified, I think at this point that would be a good thing. Okay, so like my second term, if I were to try to run for re-election, would be like, okay, screw career politicians. We're putting term limits on everybody. Nobody's living their entire life on Capitol Hill. Living and dying and getting senile and putting their own interests in front of everybody and being lobbied to and making ridiculous amounts of money. Yes. Okay, cool. We can be running mates. I like that. That would probably be like third term things that I would try to do, which as president you can't do because there is no third term. Thankfully. There hasn't been a third term since FDR that was added to the Constitution. Yeah. So there we go. That's a good, yeah. Number one, screw corporations. Number two, screw career politicians. Number three, screw career politicians. Carolyn! Hi! Happy New Year! Wow! What have you been up to? You're alive! I hate that that's a mildly legitimate concern. Hi! You'd support term limits, but would want fundraising reform and anti-lobbying reform. Those would be a hard thing for me to choose between. You're on your way to bed, but had to say hi and leave a lurk. Good night, Erilyn. Love you. Sleep well. Man, I slept awesome Friday night. We went to bed at like 1. I didn't fall asleep till like 1:30. I woke up at 7:30. Like, I feel great. Otherwise, you really just have the lobbyists as the real party and just a march of figureheads doing lobbyist bidding. You know what? You're not wrong, Aaron Knight. You're not wrong. I mean, it's kind of that kind of oligarchy right now anyway. There we go. Hold on. No. Before term limits, before gerrymandering and any of that, lobbying, gone. Period. End of story. No money going from private anything into the pockets of Congress. That would be number 2. You're alive. You're mostly the same. Been having a rough spring. The boys are loud and happy. Tell the boys I said hi and I love them. Who's that? Oh, thank you, Erilyn. I would be tempted to try to arrange refunding that to you because Eric actually has Twitch Turbo, so he doesn't so much need subscriptions, but I do appreciate that. And if you want to maybe give that to somebody else, we can figure that out. I don't know how to do that, Not a clue. But if you want to leave it as is, that's fine too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Where was I? I am warm. I'm taking the blanket off. I have a blanket around my waist. Hi, James, for the 4th time. James wants to go outside. James wants to live outside. James cannot live outside. Come on, big boy. There we go. Exclamation mark kitty in the chat. This is James. He's almost 9. Next month, we'll call him 9. Thank you, Erilyn. I very much appreciate that. Okay, now go to bed. Sleep well. Go away, blanket. I am hot. Why am I hot? Because I'm gesticulating. Because I'm getting animated and agitated. Okay. Love you, Erilyn. Where was I? I wasn't actually anywhere. I was just ranting. Okay, so plan for the night is to play either The Outer Worlds or Thief. I have a slight preference. That is a good platform, Air Knight. I appreciate your platform. I feel like we have very similar goals. We're just going about them in different directions. Or with different starting points. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Because I'm not running for office. It's not happening. I had to tell my brain, like, okay, shut up. Like, yes, that would be a good thing to do. Yes, I want that to happen, but I don't want to be the one to do it. I'm not actually going to run for office. It's not happening. It's not who I am. So, yeah, I did finally get some sleep that night. But this past Friday, man, I slept awesome. I only slept for like 6 hours, but I felt great when I woke up, and I have no idea why. People who are not religious don't have much of a chance in your neck of the woods, or in this country in general. Yeah. The more east you are, east and south, but generally east. Now, in my sleepless musings, I was like, okay, city council, or state congress, or maybe governor. But not happening. I found out that in Topeka, technically you're north, but it's basically Appalachia. I'm like east. You're on the east side of the country. Pennsylvania. I did find out that in Topeka, the way it's operated is that the mayor is chosen from the city council. There are 10 city council members, one of whom is the mayor. And the mayor is, I forget, but like they have actual duties. They're not just a figurehead. I know they run the city council meetings. They're the chair of the city council meetings. And that's all I can remember. I did look it up. I also found out that Shawnee County, in which Topeka is, the Shawnee County Council, or yeah, council, is 3 people. 3 people. And they're elected on alternating years, 1 and then 2. Oh boy. 3 people for the whole county. Anyway, not the point. Let's so do you guys, I have a slight preference to play the Outer Worlds, but I would very much enjoy playing Thief. Do you guys have a preference for which one you would rather see? The Outer Worlds or Thief? Anybody who's still here? To me, the Outer Worlds is kind of like Borderlands / Fallout in space. More Borderlands than Fallout. And then Thief is just really fun stealth adventure, first-person stealth adventure in like an alternate London-ish. Maybe I should do a poll. No, I'm not going to do a poll. Yeah, we're going to flip a coin. Heads is going to be Thief. Tails is going to be Outer Worlds. Hey, Google, flip a coin.
You got tails.
Sweet, the Outer Worlds. All right, let's get that going. And I'll make sure to update my category. And the title. Okay, I have updated the category 3 times. I clicked the button 3 times. It should be correct on your display. Let's get that running. And switch to gameplay. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania? No, Pennsylvania. Isn't it kind of bad how when the rest of the country wants to say somewhere is like backwards and stupid, they add Tucky to it? When it's actually like Mississippi, Alabama that are the stupidest ones. That's a monster? That's a thing you can fight? What is that supposed to say?
I don't want you near me.
I'm not falling sick. Oh, it just says OC. Emerald Vale General Store discovered. Halcyon, as is wanted. Bounties. Interesting. Oops. No. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Thompson.
Abernathy.
Never been.
I know another Abernathy.
Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you?
I don't know who Thompson
You
is.
tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post tomorrow, bright and early tomorrow, because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
Look at his eyes. My perception's high enough to do this, right? If I remember correctly.
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile,
I guess that didn't work.
pestering him about his mental state?
I'm here to collect your gravesite fees. You know what? I'm gonna take a minute to run around behind my desk here. Never mind. I would have to move the Plex server and it would be complicated. I was gonna try to look for my other Xbox controller because of the drift on this one, but I'll just deal with it. No, I'm gonna run around and do that. I'll be right back. This sounds like a lullaby. Sounds like I'm gonna go to sleep. Maybe it's just the, what are they called? Not a music machine, a music box sound, type sound. Okay, I'm not going to sleep anymore. Ariel is partial to her dab. Oh my god, I just dabbed! I more or less swore to myself internally that I was never gonna dab. More bowls. More bowls. I should not have done that. Somebody's gonna clip that and it's gonna. The weed mixes some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart the heart quicker than the shock when I get shocked at the hospital, when I get wet by the doctor when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating. He waited this long. Okay, if it is in that tote, it's not immediately visible, so I'll just deal with the drift. Okay, here to collect your gravesite fees.
Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows.
I'm gonna lie to everybody. Nobody's getting the truth out of me if I can help it.
Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me.
And I get XP for it.
I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be
1, 2, 3,
cannery in the
4.
skies. It's plague. Has to
4 allusions to death.
Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one.
Am I gonna be a jerk?
I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see your way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help.
What's that? What you need?
Couple hours out of your day and some light second story work. That's all. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me.
That seems, yeah, suspicious. A little more difficult than he's making it sound.
Do what I can. I tried medicating myself with adrenotime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell.
It's not the only medicine.
Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy.
Fuck corporations.
More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough.
Assume there are guards.
You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand.
Ah. What about the
I have it on
marauders?
good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly.
Okay,
So you'll do it then?
I will try.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
Your spleen.
Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the
Speaking of
archives.
community centers, I finished out the community center on Stardew.
I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did find my courage.
I hear the vicar's not that good. Okay, bye.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Why?
Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine.
Why?
Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead.
Let's use my skills.
All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic.
What do you need it
I
for?
probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do.
Uh-huh. Plausible deniability. Let me worry about
All
that.
right. Here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all.
Oh.
Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you.
I'm going to Google this. Abernathy versus Blaine. More money and a clearer conscience. We recommend going with Esther. If you're just looking to stay loyal to Abernathy, you can persuade him into giving you 800 bits for your trouble. Okay. Clearer conscience means her. Okay. I would not have guessed that.
I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better.
Sure.
That's all I can ask of you.
Okay. So what's in here now? What is this? Why does it look like I can interact with it? Saltuna. Schedule your sick leave. 2 to 4 weeks to process your sick leave. Pay for your sick leave. Is there like a crouch? Like, okay, nobody can see me, right? Okay. Steal 9 bits, yeah. Man, fuck corporations. I'll steal you blind. Now, where is my goal? Upstairs and 12 meters that way. Okay, I think I'm going the right direction. Rob you blind, not steal you blind.
You the new worker? Whatever.
Sure.
Make it quick, tenderfoot. I'm busy.
Gravesite fees.
Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
Jeez. That's kind of you.
I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame though. Eugene was a good worker.
You said he shot himself?
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire.
Yeah.
Spacer's choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
That's... Fuck corporations. They turn people into
Not half as
this.
awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's choice.
And there hasn't been a revolt yet. Like, I understand these people were, like, born and raised in this, but there hasn't been any kind of revolt. If there's a chance to lead one, I'm gonna do it.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Okay, bye. What? Fuck. Man, fuck corporations. Okay, close this door. Is there a sneak? Oh, that's right. Okay. 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 Don't distribute this, but we're all in this together. Okay, that looks like a weapon. Mag 2 zap? It's a modification. Electrically charges the chambered round immediately before firing. Upon impact, the round discharges, electrocuting the target. That sounds fun. I need a workbench. No idea where to find a workbench, and that's fine for right now. Is there a way for me to tell whether I'm being... One left hand severed at the wrist. Second, unscheduled amputation, meaning they schedule amputations. Maintenance fees will be deducted from your pay. Man. I hate this place. Oh, I don't have enough mag picks. Man, I'll rob this place blind. Don't try me. Vending machines. Vending machines offer a variety of items to purchase, mostly from one company. A hack skill of 20 or higher allows you to sell items to the vending machine. Restricted items on a vendor can only be purchased when you have high enough reputation with the associated faction, or a hack skill of 40 or higher. Okay. Health regen, I don't really need. Okay. Skin tough salve. Thermal congealer. Armor rating plus 10 for 15 seconds. I don't really do buffs either. I'll have to look at that later. Bunch of nanners. 0G brew. Tarmac and cheese. Great. It's not real tarmac or real cheese. Wait. Okay, so is that the only way to heal is to use these regenerate items? Great. Body attributes plus 1. Want that. Plasma rifle, 71 DPS. Does the red mean it's less than the DPS I have right now? Heavy ammo. Base health plus 25. Last 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Okay, somebody over here. Wait, what is this? Ludwig Miller is in here. Okay, there's another thing that's inside the town here, so I'm gonna go try that.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
Wait a minute. So what am I doing about Conrad? Might be worth mentioning this to Silas. Okay, let's talk to Silas and then see if we can go find Ludwig. Ludwig? The only source of protein a busy worker needs. Okay, so... I did not need to do that. I have forgotten the controls already. It's been 4 days and I've forgotten the controls. Okay. Oh, I could have sold this, so it doesn't show you... Okay. Okay, so... Oh, I only have 1 healing slot. How do I unlock more healing slots? Lily is having a grand old time with her tail up in the cat tower, if you'll do ! Kitty. I like how the sprint, like, auto stays on when you toggle it.
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit?
About those
Run
fees.
into any trouble?
Conrad says he can't
Conrad's
pay.
barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
Okay, whatever. All right. Ludwig is that way. And it looks like below. How do I get down? Okay. I feel like there are probably bad guys over here. Okay, landing pad. Let me guess, it costs me money to land on the landing pad. Put this gun away. Hey, Ludwig. Ludwig.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses.
I'm not your backup.
Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff.
Yeah, I'll ask him
The
this.
war. The coming apocalypse. Man versus machine. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
Sure, hire me.
I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. So tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, a few bit carts. I'll reward you for your aid.
Sure. Proper armies pay enlistment fees.
Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name.
Yeah. And what do you need done?
They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. The scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
This is so Borderlands. Yeah, give me some pointers.
Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Uh-huh. Okay, now give me your money.
I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling.
Uh-huh. He sure did.
Mechanical repellent. A stroke of inspiration from the law itself. Here, I've been saving up a couple of bits for just such a project.
Uh-huh. Goodbye. Alright, let's go figure out dirt on Conrad. Okay, okay. It almost feels like the field of view is tilted to the left like 1 or 2 degrees. I could be full of shit. I don't know. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Why does it automatically draw my weapon when I transition areas?
Something outside the walls.
What'd you hear outside the walls?
Nothing for us outside those walls. You ought to know that.
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor?
Barber, doctor, same thing. Only if we use the term doctor loosely.
I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon. And if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
And what do you know about the plague?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours. Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing? What you want, I guess.
What? Okay, does that count as dirt? Okay, counts as dirt. So is it simple line of sight?
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? The good Vicar Maximilian and I have never quite seen eye to eye, but your point is well taken. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Okay. Yeah, tell me more.
Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
This place is horrible. I am leading a revolt the first chance I get. Faux windows. What makes them faux? Can you see through them or not? Okay, completed my first fetch quest.
Yeah? What about him? Well, yeah. It's what I'm contractually obligated to do. What's this about? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away, vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead.
Okay.
Let me know if you find anything.
Wait, so am I... What do I do?
You run into any trouble?
There we go.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see?
Okay. Alright. Is that gonna be on this side of the river? Well, we know where the hand came from, then. I don't need to steal these shovels. Okay. Sorry, the ones that are glowing, not accessible. Okay. Ah, looks like it is on the other side of the river. Are they all inside the community center? Nope, there's one. There's two. He's got a long gun. Oh. Skill points. Wait, how do I get 10 skill points? Like, holy crap. Okay. Got it. That'll work. Oh, wait, I still have 2 points. A dialogue combat skill. When attacking the correct type of target, they are automatically debilitated. Okay. Still have 2 points. Put them there. Oh, it's an assault rifle. Yeah, boy. How long am I going to be disoriented from the explosion? Okay, looks like it's fading. Terror on Monarch. canids can be found all over Emerald Vale in two distinct varieties, domesticated and feral. Feral canids hunt in packs, while domesticated canids can be loyal companions. It is important to remember that while domesticated canids can be loyal companions, it is important to remember that the canid is still a wild animal and should be treated with caution. Oh boy. This display, fashioned to resemble a pair of mighty primals, required extensive field research. Let us have a moment of silence for the researchers who give their lives in the pursuit of authenticity. Oh boy. And the oceans and rivers are... If the ocean and rivers are the heart and veins of Emerald Vale, then salt tuna is our highly profitable blood. These meaty fish live in the ocean and migrate upstream during mating season. Salt tuna are semelparous, which means they perish after a single reproductive episode. That's when our truly trusty Spacious Choice harvesters scoop up their corpses to be cleaned, processed, canned, and delivered straight to your dinner table. Yay. But am I going to have to consume these things? Okay. Got the first aid room key. Okay. I do want to see what's the other directions through this world. Okay, that goes outside. Did I go this way? Yeah, I really need to find that better controller. Or, hopefully better. I've been through here. Excuse me. Let me go up these stairs. Oh, okay. Okay. Titus Androdicus. Androidicus, sorry. Okay, so can I, like, fast travel? Yes, okay. Toss ball. All right. Sell stuff to Esther.
I've got some time. Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types. You do have some cheek on you. Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me. Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room? Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Okay. Yeah, let's go do this one. Region, there we go. So it's outside, okay. Raptidon, great. Oh, here's a mostly paved road. I mean, the road is paved, it's just in really bad shape. In a very regular pattern. Oh shit. Oh shit. What are you doors? Huh. Interesting. Okay. So you're just malfunctioning. I can't loot while I'm reloading. That's gonna be a detriment. It tried to explain to me about the damage types, but it flashed away too fast. Oh, mushrooms. When indentured servants are freed, anarchy soon follows. Yeah! Yeah, that's how they're keeping people in line.
Bring us honor, soldier.
Yeah, I got it.
You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs. Pulled its optic cables out its head case. Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination.
Yeah, he's just nuts.
You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess.
I fired
You
half a
are
dozen
one.
rounds.
and the enemy is...
Oh man, this guy. You know this guy, Aaron
What you
Knight?
need is an equalizer. A weapon to strike fear in their cold mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter.
Sure.
On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
Yeah, beating a robot to death with its own legs. Okay, bye. Alright. Cantina, yeah. Surprised they don't charge me to go to the lab. What is the secret weapon? Okay, 10 skill points and a perk point. Cool. So that one was good. Yeah. More damage when I'm alone is good. Okay. Oh, return to Ludwig. Okay, I can do that. I could pick this open. Should I? Yeah, why not? Are there people in here? No. Okay. Alrighty. Charging to use the lab. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't charge me like 5 bits just to open the door. Alright, Ludwig, what do we got now?
Bring us honor, soldier.
Got the package.
Your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit. Designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law.
Sure.
You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old...
I already had like 3 of these. How do I use it?
There's a workbench right through this door. Attach that unit to your favorite weapon and go forth into glorious battle.
Sure.
It's time for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
What can I find down there, old
I
man?
need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Okay, and how do I get one?
There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're gonna have to find an intact model somehow.
And what are you planning to do with this?
Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits. Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. I didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around
I mean,
you.
those mean very different things. Okay.
If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of 0G to your memory.
Okay. All right. Gun modification. I assume it's this. The workbench allows you to repair, upgrade, and modify your weapons and armor, keeping you combat ready and in tip-top shape at all times. On each screen, first select the weapon or armor that you want to work on, then choose what you want to do to it. Repair it, break it down for parts, modify it with a mod, or tinker to upgrade it. Okay? Real quick, I got some new armor. To wear an armor or helmet item, navigate to the item and then select it. You can also manage your armor here. Break them down, inspect them, compare to another armor, tag them as junk, or drop them. Okay. How do I compare? All right, armor 3, armor 4, armor 3, armor 4, armor 4, armor 13. Cool. Tech skills +5. And this does not have any plus anything. This is also tech skills +5, and it's the same armor amount. Ugh, no thanks. What does this look like? It looks terrible. It's 1 higher armor. I'll keep this for the time being. Okay. Time to go speak with Reed. Okay, and to install your mod, first select the item you wish to upgrade, then choose what type of mod you wish to install: scope, armor plating, etc. Finally pick the mod to install and boom, you've upgraded your item. Both weapons and armor can be modified. Mods can't be removed once they're used, so put them on your favorite gear. Jock weapons are built for the discerning warrior who wants a custom and personalized weapon, just like everyone else. Okay. Okay. Let's break down all these dupes. What is the red dot up there in the top right corner? Does that mean it's using like its energy damage? I'm gonna leave it for the time being. What's special about this one? Two-handed melee. Wrong button. There we go. All right, so let us modify this Add this mag to zap. Okay, and I don't have any... Okay, so this is going to add electrical damage. Or it turns it into electrical damage. Okay. And this is plasma damage, and this is normal damage. Okay. I can live with this for the time being. Okay. Oops. Give me the shunt. I'm not stealing it, right? Oh, I am stealing it. Three bits, not worth it. What is this? Toss ball. Yeah, not worth it either. Don't have what it takes to hack that. Also, he's standing right here in the door. Move it! Actually, I guess I can just fast travel. Mantisar. Okay. I'm assuming I have to use the elevator.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with... well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Yeah, I'll wait until you're finished. You're totally putting people in these
saying,
cans.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
You can fix things. Anyway.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
And what do you get out of this?
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered.
Mostly.
Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
Yeah, what do you mean mostly abandoned?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Uh-huh. I gotta figure out some way around this.
Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that. Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide.
You need some confidence,
if that's
Parvati.
right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
I just got a perk that gives me more damage when I'm alone. We'll see.
Great. I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Goodbye. You've gained a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help in a variety of ways. Companions provide combat support, their skills enhance your skills, and they increase your carrying capacity. You can unlock special companion combat abilities with the Inspiration skill. Learn more in the Companion Ledger. Okay.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Excuse me. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that calls the elevator.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Now what?
We better clear out.
Oh, wait. Okay, fine. Let's go outside.
Can we talk? Sorry. Can we chat?
Can you stop apologizing?
You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see. I think you should talk to the town's vicar. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking. It's just...
Okay.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to... That's what my dad used to...
Vicar! Nope. Where's the vicar? Oh, yeah, this looks like a church. Ah.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Tell me about your spiritual
They
advice.
were not satisfied with their work or satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands.
Man, I hate this place.
Selling? No. It is free for all who seek it. I'm sorry you don't find these tried and true words of wisdom to your liking.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue with you.
Have you? These people need something. Anything they can grasp to survive. Delving into the metaphysical minutiae of the grand plan would be nonsense to them, if not worse. My apologies. The townsfolk are having a tough time of it, and it's been difficult for me to enrich their lives. They are good people. It is just difficult to reach them.
Okay.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Oh, my intelligence isn't high enough. No! Oh, I want the additional option. Yeah, Erlen gifted you the 7. I really appreciate that. Now you get the emotes. Use those strawberts.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name Mbakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
Sure, I'll look for it.
If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Okay, I'm tired. I think I would like to go to bed. So we're gonna be done for now. Yeah, so this is, I don't know, a little bit heavier, a little bit more involved than, wait a minute. There we go. Press the button on my touchpad. Tired, it's barely even evening. I don't know, I'm old. So this is slightly less chaotic than Borderlands. It's a little bit more thinky and, to be honest, preachy than Borderlands. It's a lot like Fallout, I would say, in that regard. But they all three have in common, screw corporations. Because all they want to do is take advantage of everybody, including the corporation that made this game. So, yeah. Anyway, Thursday. Let's look at what's coming up for free on Thursday. That is not it. Ghost Runner. What's this even about? Unique single-player experience, fast-paced, violent combat, and an original setting that blends science fiction with post-apocalyptic themes. It tells the story of a world that has already ended and its inhabitants who fight to survive. Against, presumably, machines? No. But this is Doc Ock! Except with more arms. It's Doc Deck. OMG, you zapped my suit. You ripped my arm off. I'm assuming I get a cybernetic arm. Bam. Huh. Huh. That looks interesting also. Down with the man. Down with the man. Okay. So that's what we're going to be trying. Oh, shoot, that was entirely on the wrong screen. But, like, you saw most of the preview. Okay, is there an actual gameplay trailer that shows me what play actually looks like? No, give me actual gameplay, damn it. No, I don't need a bunch of cinematics. There we go. Give me actual gameplay. So your only weapons are swords of different kinds, and you've got Spider-Man webs. That's creepy. So your left arm is like a multi-gadget. Okay. And then that's the Doc Deck lady that we were fighting at the beginning. Okay. This looks interesting. That really looks... It's 4 years old. This does look interesting. Okay. We will definitely be giving that a try on Thursday, and probably a good bit of it. Cool beans. Looking forward to this. So that's what we're going to do Thursday. Thank you for hanging out, Errant Knight and Eric. And thank you for popping in, Erilyn. And thank you for gifting the sub to Eric. I believe I appreciate that. Everybody stay safe. Have a great week. Stay hydrated and don't do anything you don't want to explain to the paramedics. I will see you same time Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Deuces.